that I have here that I'm trying to get rid of 80% of. And now I'm going to talk about one of the techniques that I've already started to use to get rid of some of this stuff. So basically the technique amounts to looking at all of one item together. So I'm going to take neckties for this example, because I haven't done it yet for these. I've already applied this to like my undershirts, to like plaid or like work shirts, because I had dozens of them, and I just only wore a few of them. But the main problem is when you look at any one in isolation, you're like, well, that's a good shirt, I like it, or that's a good tie, I like it. So this tie right here, I wear every now and then, fairly, like, it's like purple, so it's good. But I don't know, it's a pretty average tie, but you're like, that's a nice tie, I would keep that, right? So the real problem lies when you are only looking at this tie in isolation. So what you really need to do is look at your entire collection and just say, is this worth keeping relative to all of the other things that I have? Because there's a difference between, is this tie good and is this tie, worth keeping? And so, laying this tie down next to all these other ones, I have close to 30 or 40 ties here. And so the key is not to look at any one tie individually. It's like, hey, which of these ties do I actually really need to keep? And looking at them together allows you to pick out the worst ones a lot easier than if you're looking at them individually. So, yeah, I'm going to get going on this. So, right here, I have a lot of bow ties too, and, that's cool. So, I guess if I had to pick my favorite two ties, that's for sure this, that's my favorite necktie, hands down. This blue Marlins, it's the favorite bow tie. That's 1 and 2. So I have 30 ties. Getting rid of 80% leaves me with, I think, 6. So that's 2 right there. That's pretty much all I need to do. I really like this tie. I actually lost it once and bought a second one. And then before I even took the tags off the second one, I found the first one and never got rid of it. So I can get rid of the duplicate. What else do I have? I've got, all sorts of, nice ties. Like, if I look at this, I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping that tie. But comparative to the other things, like, how often do I wear this? I've worn this once in the past, 2 years. And, I just have way too many to pick from. So, let me see what else. I guess this is another necktie that I like. Reds. Brooks Brothers. These bow ties are pretty solid. I should hang on to them. That would be 6 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would be 6 already. Huh. So those are the thinking about it. And then, so that's the first set right there. It's a lot of red. Wow, I sound pretty ridiculous. But I mean, basically, I'm just trying to make the point is look at all these ties. Like, some of them are like, yeah, hey, that's a nice tie, but, do I need to keep that? Is that something I wear on a normal basis? Like, this is an awesome tie, but, what the hell do I wear this with? It's brown and blue and, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just sort of mumbling and rambling. Yeah, it'd probably be nice to keep this black tie and this yellow tie. But what's better, the black or the yellow? Or those? So I think that's probably the ones I'm choosing from. A lot of these are from high school. This I just bought because it was awesome. It's like butterflies, but I've never worn it. So, why am I keeping this? And that's pretty much the moral of the story that I'm working with here is, yeah, a lot of this stuff is awesome, but I really just don't need it. So I'm going to try to part with it and give it to someone else who would use it. So I basically just got to decide between these right here. There's the four for sure's, and then I've got to decide about these 4, which 2 that I'm going to keep. And then that's 80% gone if I just get rid of all this. There's some of these that are name brands and I can sell for a little bit of money, and the rest I can just pop over to local thrift shop, and then it's gone, and that's 80% down on these ties. And I'm going to work through a bit more of this stuff with the rest of my belongings and move on through it, and yeah, I'll keep you updated.